Welcome back to another episode of Kiwi and Pixel the Parakeets. Today we're going to show you a little bit more about how target training works. Target training is also known as clicker training because of the tool that you use to train your parakeet. These are handheld clickers which you can buy at the pet store. They're used for dog and for bird training, and they're extremely useful for getting your parakeet to follow a specific target that you have set up. So here are the things that you will need to do a successful target training with your parakeet. First, you're going to need the clicker. Second, you're going to need a treat of some sort that you know that your bird really loves. In this case, millet. Most parakeets absolutely love millet, and so it's a good way to coax them into doing some training with you. So, that said, you need a target. And in this case, what we're using is something very simple. This is a just regular kitchen chopstick utensil, and our target in this case is going to be the tip of the chopstick. Now, we have done this with Kiwi before. I think we might have even done videos before of him doing the target training. It's been a while. It's probably been a couple years since I've actually asked him to do this at all. So we'll see how this turns out. But I guess the warning here is don't expect too much from your parakeet on the first try, and don't burn out your parakeet trying to teach them this stuff for too many minutes or too many hours at a time. So first things first, we want to sort of demonstrate that touching the tip of the chopstick, in this case the target, to his beak, elicits a treat and a click. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to have our treat ready, because the treat has to come as soon as the click does. And if he touches his beak to the tip of the chopstick here, we click and then immediately reward. So watch this. We have to get rid of the phone first because he's too distracted by the phone. All right, ready? I know you want the treat first, don't you? All right, touch the tip. Good. Click and treat immediately. Just like that. So he touches his beak to the tip of the chopstick, click, and then treat immediately. So let's try that again. He got a little bit excited by the click. Okay, so now that we've got Kiwi back here, he's of course trying to eat all the millet, but you have to have it handy. That's the challenge, is having it handy and ready to go. So let's try one more time. Just like that. So he touches his beak to the tip of the chopstick, click, and immediately reward with a treat. So in general, this is going to work for most people to train their parakeets to do more complex tricks. So the very first step of this target training is to get them familiar with the concept of them touching their beak to the tip of the training tool, in this case a chopstick, for a click and a reward. And from what people do from there is have the parakeet follow the chopstick around a table or an obstacle course or something like that, rewarding them the entire way, and then it builds and scaffolds upon that skill in order to build more complex tricks that they can do. So this is just the fundamentals of it. Now in this case, Pixel is quite unfamiliar with the training environment. He doesn't like being coaxed into places, and so getting him to stay put on the table here is actually quite the challenge. Kiwi's a little bit more used to this in that regard. He's a little bit more tame than Pixel is. So what we're trying to do is just sort of acclimate Pixel to the training area here so that we can do this training without him flying away in fear. One of the things you can do is you can use your mouth as the click if the clicker is not nearby. Sometimes you have your hands full and it's much easier to make the click sound. As long as the click sound is always associated with the treat at about the same moment, then you're going to be fine. So in this case, he's playing with my watch. It's something he's very familiar with, but the chopstick itself, he's not familiar with and may be afraid of on the first go. All right, Pixel, treat. Okay, yeah. Treat. Lots of coaxing with the treats first. No biting. He's really biting. Come here. Yeah. It really hurts a lot. He's really biting me hard. It's super painful. All right, come here. Come here. He's chomping down as much as he can. Step up. Step up. Good bird. almost got him to do it there. We'll see. Alright, so I take my watch off. The watch itself can be the target, perhaps. So right now we're using the watch as a target because it seems to be the thing that he's interested in, but it's kind of working. So he's sort of learning that as he touches his beak to the front of the watch, that he gets a click and a treat. So the only thing we're doing here is we're reinforcing positive behavior, or reinforcing a desired behavior. Now he's still quite interested in the watch, but if we can divert some of his attention and reinforce behavior to another target, then we can use the chopstick instead of the watch as the target. So in the kitchen, I sort of was able to interrupt him from talking to shiny things and redirect his attention to the tip of the chopstick, and I was able to actually get him to do this 2 or 3 times, but I couldn't catch it on camera because he was so flighty. So I'm going to try to get him back to the table here and try this again, but I've begun to instill this sense in him of touching the beak to the end of the chopstick gets a click and a treat. So let's try it again. So there you have it, some clicker training with Kiwi and Pixel. You can see that Pixel actually started to pick up on it a little bit. He's still a little bit fixated on shiny things and a little bit nervous when he's training, but you can see he's actually doing it. So you just reinforce that over and over again, and over time you can get them to do more complex tricks. So that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching Kiwi and Pixel the Parakeets. Cheers.
I'm here.